Welcome to a place where comfort ends and growth begins. This channel is built on one mission: to help you become the best version of yourself. Here you'll learn to choose discipline over desire, because comfort may feel good now, but discipline builds the future. You'll be reminded that failure is not the end, it's the beginning, and every fall can push you forward. You'll discover how to dream beyond logic, to reach for goals so big they scare you, because success is waiting on the other side of impossible. You'll learn the power of grinding in the dark when nobody's watching, so that when the light finally shines, you're unstoppable. And above all, you'll see that true success isn't just about shining. It's about serving, giving, and rising together, fueled by faith and sharpened by focus. This isn't just motivation. It's transformation. Discipline over desire. Let me tell you something. Desire will lie to you. Desire will make you believe you're working hard when in reality you're just chasing comfort. Desire wants quick results, instant gratification, the easy way out. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort is where dreams go to die. You don't improve by doing what feels good in the moment. You improve by doing what's necessary in the moment, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Everybody wants success until they see the price tag. They want the car, the house, the respect, the freedom, but they don't want the early mornings, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices. They don't want the loneliness of discipline. See, desire will tell you, stay in bed, you've worked enough, take a break. Discipline says, get up, you're not done yet, there's more in you. And the truth is, the bridge between where you are right now and where you want to be is discipline. Nothing else, not luck, not talent, not somebody's handout. Discipline, think about it. Every person you admire, every person who built something great, they didn't get there by chance. They didn't wake up one morning with success waiting on their doorstep. They put in the hours when nobody was clapping for them. They said no to distractions when everyone else was saying yes. They walked away from comfort because they knew comfort never built anything legendary. And that's the decision you have to make. Do you want to feel good now, or do you want to live good later? Because desire is always about now. Desire says, eat what you want right now. Discipline says, eat what fuels you so you can last longer. Desire says, sleep in, you earned it. Discipline says, wake up, your future is waiting. Desire says, skip the work, nobody's watching anyway. Discipline says, do it anyway, because you're building yourself, not your audience. And let me tell you, there's no greater strength than mastering yourself. You can conquer cities, you can conquer crowds, but if you can't conquer your own mind, you're still a slave. Discipline is self, mastery. It's standing in front of temptation and saying, not today. I've got a bigger purpose. It's being able to delay pleasure, delay comfort, delay the applause, because you're not chasing validation, you're chasing transformation. I know some of you want results faster. You want it all right now. But that's desire talking. Discipline understands the process. Discipline says brick by brick, day by day, step by step. And even when the results don't show up immediately, discipline keeps going. Because discipline knows that the seed doesn't grow the same day it's planted. It takes time, it takes consistency, it takes pressure. That's why most people quit. They listen to desire. They want the flower without planting the seed, without watering it, without waiting for the sun to rise. But I'll tell you this, discipline will always outlast desire, because desire fades. The excitement of starting something new wears off. That gym membership you're excited about, that business idea you bragged about, that dream you whispered to yourself late at night. It all starts with fire, but the fire burns out. What's left when the fire dies? Discipline, that's what carries you forward. That's what keeps you moving when motivation is gone, when nobody is cheering, when it feels like the world forgot about you. Discipline doesn't forget. And if you can choose discipline over desire every single day, you become unstoppable. You stop being controlled by feelings and you start being driven by principles. You stop making decisions based on what's easy and you start making them based on what's right. And when you do that long enough, success has no choice but to show up. It has no choice, because discipline builds habits, habits build consistency, and consistency builds greatness. So don't chase comfort. Don't fall for the lie that you can have success and comfort at the same time. You can't, at least not in the beginning. Comfort is the reward you get after discipline, not before. First you put in the work, then you enjoy the fruits. First you sacrifice, then you celebrate. That's the order. And if you reverse it, if you celebrate too early, if you live in comfort before you've earned it, you'll never reach your full potential. So every morning when you wake up, you've got a choice: comfort or discipline, desire or destiny, and that choice doesn't just shape your day, it shapes your life. Choose discipline every time. Fail big, fail forward. Don't you dare let the fear of failure hold you hostage. The truth is, failure is not the enemy. It's the evidence you're in the game. If you've never failed, you've never tried. And if you've never tried, then you've never lived. Too many people let the fear of falling keep them from ever leaving the ground. They stand on the edge, dreaming about flying, but never spread their wings because they're too worried about crashing. Let me tell you something. You will crash, you will stumble, you will lose. But every time you fall, you're not starting from nothing. You're starting from experience, and that experience is priceless. The real danger isn't failing. The real danger is staying the same person you are today, 5 years from now, because you were too afraid to risk, too afraid to chase something greater, too afraid to take the hit. That kind of fear will lock you in a prison of regret, and that's a sentence worse than any failure could ever give you. I'd rather try and fall flat on my face than look back and wonder, what if? Regret is heavier than failure. Failure you can learn from, regret you can't do anything about, and understand this: every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every closed door is just redirection. Every no you hear is pushing you closer to the right yes. But you'll never discover that if you're too busy trying to protect your pride, too afraid to look foolish, too scared to fall. Greatness doesn't come wrapped in perfection. Greatness is born in scars, mistakes, missed shots, and second chances. Think about the people who changed the world. They weren't safe players. They weren't perfect. They failed, and not small, but big. They failed so big that people laughed at them, doubted them, turned their backs on them. But they didn't stop there. They took the punches, they stood back up, and they moved forward. Fail forward, that's the key. It's not just about falling, it's about the direction you're falling in. If you're falling forward, you're still gaining ground. You're still closer than you were yesterday. See, failure has a way of teaching you things success never will. Success feels good, but it doesn't always teach. Failure stings, but it leaves you wiser. Failure humbles you, and humility builds strength. Failure strips away the illusions and excuses, and it forces you to see who you really are and what you're really made of. If you let it, failure will shape you into a sharper, stronger, more resilient version of yourself. But here's the catch: you can't fail forward if you refuse to get up. Too many people fall and stay down. They let the pain define them instead of refine them. They let failure become a period instead of a comma. Your story doesn't end when you fail. That's just the plot twist that sets up the victory. So don't sit in the dirt crying over the fall. Get up, wipe your face, take the lesson, keep moving. I know it hurts when you give your all and come up short. I know it stings when you put your heart on the line and it gets crushed. I know the nights when you're sitting in silence, wondering if you've got what it takes. But listen to me. Pain is not the signal to stop. Pain is the proof that you're stretching, that you're growing, that you're stepping outside the limits of comfort. And that's exactly where transformation happens. Don't be afraid to fail big. Aim higher than logic says you should. If your dreams don't intimidate you, they're not big enough. Don't water them down to fit other people's expectations. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Go after it, even if it scares you. Especially if it scares you. Because the very thing that terrifies you is probably the very thing that's going to take you to the next level. When you fail, don't let it whisper lies about your worth. Failure is not who you are. It's just something you went through. It's an event, not an identity. You're not defined by how many times you fall. You're defined by how many times you rise. Every scar can be a story of strength if you decide to keep walking. So I'll say it again. Fail big, fail forward. Don't be afraid of falling. Be afraid of standing still, of living small, of wasting years on safe choices that never challenge you, never change you, never push you to discover what's inside you. When life knocks you down, roll over, look up, and keep moving forward, because every setback is just preparing you for the comeback that will shock the world. Fail forward, always, dream beyond logic. If your dreams don't scare you, they're too small. Too many people settle for safe dreams, manageable dreams, dreams that fit neatly inside the limits of their reality. But if your dream doesn't make your heart race, if it doesn't make you question whether you're even capable of pulling it off, then it's not a dream, it's just a plan. And there's a big difference between living according to plans and living according to purpose. Plans fit inside reason. Purpose lives beyond reason. Purpose demands that you step out into the unknown, where the ground doesn't look steady and the path isn't marked. That's where success lives, on the other side of impossible. Logic will tell you to stay comfortable. Logic will say, don't try that, you don't have the money, you don't have the education, you don't have the connections, you don't have the time. Logic will always find a reason why something can't be done. But the ones who rise, the ones who leave their mark, they refuse to let logic become their limit. They see the wall, and instead of turning around, they figure out how to climb it, break it, or build a door through it. Logic draws a line, faith draws a future. People will call you crazy for dreaming bigger than your circumstances. They'll laugh at you when your vision doesn't match your situation. They'll say, be realistic. But let me tell you something, realism has never changed the world. It's the so-called crazy ones who do. Every invention, every breakthrough, every story of greatness started as an idea that didn't make sense. It wasn't logical. It was outrageous. It was ridiculous. And that's exactly why it was powerful. Think about it. Every comfort you enjoy today was once considered impossible. Flying in the sky, speaking to someone across the globe in real time, lights shining at the touch of a switch. All of it came from someone who dared to dream beyond what logic said was possible. They weren't smarter than everybody else. They weren't luckier. They were just bold enough to dream beyond limits and stubborn enough to work until their vision came alive. Now hear me clearly. Dreaming beyond logic doesn't mean you sit back and wish for things to happen. It means you dare to envision a life that stretches you, that scares you, and then you commit yourself to the grind that brings it into existence, because a dream without work is nothing but fantasy. But a dream fueled by sweat, sacrifice, and discipline, that's destiny, and yes, you will fail on the way, you will stumble, people will doubt you, you will doubt yourself, but that's the point. If the dream didn't scare you, if it didn't force you to grow into someone stronger, it wouldn't be worth chasing. The size of your dream should demand a better version of you. It should demand that you expand your thinking, sharpen your skills, strengthen your spirit. That's how you know it's the right dream. It doesn't just promise to change your life, it forces you to change yourself. Too many people let fear kill their dream before it even takes its first breath. They look at the odds and they give up before they start, but fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal. It's telling you you're heading in the right direction. If it's big enough to scare you, then it's big enough to shape you. Stop running from the fear. Run with it. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it fuel your drive. Let it remind you that you're chasing something bigger than yourself. And understand this: success is not meant to be logical. Success is built on faith, risk, and perseverance. If it was logical, everybody would have it. But it's not. It belongs to the ones who are willing to leap when others cling to the ledge. It belongs to the ones who choose possibility over probability. It belongs to the ones who understand that logic is limited, but vision is infinite. So ask yourself, what dream have you buried because it didn't make sense? What vision have you silenced because people told you it was too big, too crazy, too far out of reach? Dig it back up, bring it back to life. Stop shrinking yourself to fit inside the lines that logic drew for you. Step beyond them. If your dream doesn't make your knees shake a little, it's too small. If it doesn't keep you up at night with both excitement and fear, it's too safe. And if it doesn't force you to lean on something greater than yourself, it's not big enough. Don't aim for what makes sense. Aim for what makes history. Don't just dream what's possible. Dream what's impossible, and then go prove it isn't. Success lives on the other side of impossible. Grind in the dark, shine in the light. Everybody loves the spotlight. Everybody loves the applause. Everybody wants recognition. But the truth is, the spotlight doesn't create greatness. It only reveals it. The real work, the real transformation, happens when no one is watching. That's where champions are made. Not in the stadium, not on the stage, not when the cameras are rolling, but in the silence, in the shadows, in the hours nobody will ever see. See, most people want the rewards, but not the routine. They want the glory, but not the grind. They want the results, but they don't want the repetition that builds them. But the secret is this: if you only work hard when people are looking, you'll never have what it takes when the pressure comes. Because real success is built in private, and then it's displayed in public. Ask yourself, what are you doing when nobody's keeping score? What choices are you making when there's no audience to clap for you? That's the test of character. That's the measure of discipline, because anyone can look the part when the lights are on, but only the ones who grind in the dark have the strength to keep standing when the lights go off. I'll tell you why grinding in the dark matters. Because in the darkness there's no distraction, there's no noise, there's no validation. It's just you, your work, and your willpower. That's where you build trust in yourself. That's where you prove, not to the world, but to you, that you're serious about your vision. Every rep, every hour, every ounce of effort put in the shadows is a deposit. And when the light finally comes, when the opportunity shows up, you withdraw what you've already earned. By then, it's too late for anybody to stop you. See, the problem with chasing the spotlight is that it fades, the applause stops, the crowd goes home, and if that's the only thing driving you, you'll quit as soon as it's quiet. But if you've built yourself in silence, if you've poured into your craft without needing recognition, then the moment the world finally sees you, you'll be undeniable. They won't understand where the strength came from. They won't understand how you got so good. That's because you were grinding when they were sleeping. You were working when they were wasting time. You were committed when they were comfortable. It's easy to want to be noticed. It's easy to want someone to tell you you're doing great. But sometimes the silence is the greatest gift you'll ever receive, because silence teaches you to stop relying on others and to start relying on yourself. It teaches you to find your drive within. It teaches you to become your own motivation, your own accountability, your own fuel. That's what grinding in the dark does. It makes you unstoppable, because your fire doesn't depend on anybody else. And listen, this is not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not. It's about doing the hard thing when nobody will ever know. Because all those unseen sacrifices, all those hidden hours, they compound. They stack up. And one day, when the door finally opens, when the light finally shines, you won't have to scramble to prove yourself. You'll already be ready. Don't be fooled by the illusion of overnight success. Nobody just shows up out of nowhere and wins. Nobody just stumbles into greatness. What looks like overnight success is years of hidden work finally stepping into view. And the people who didn't see the grind, they'll call it luck. They'll call it talent. They'll call it unfair. But you'll know the truth. You'll know the price you paid in the dark so you could shine in the light. So don't chase applause. Don't wait for permission. Don't slow down because nobody's clapping. Put your head down, do the work, keep building when it's quiet. Because by the time the world notices you, it'll be too late for them to stop you. Grind in the dark. Shine in the light. Serve before you shine. Too many people want the spotlight before they've ever held the candle. They want the stage, the title, the recognition, but they forget the foundation of real success. It's not about what you get. It's about what you give. The truth is, if all you're chasing is what the world can hand you, you'll never be fulfilled. You'll always be hungry, always restless, always looking for more. But when you shift your focus to what you can contribute, to how you can lift others, to how you can leave people better than you found them, that's when your life takes on real meaning. See, the highest level of success doesn't come from standing above others. It comes from pulling others up with you. And here's the paradox. When you give, when you serve, when you pour into people, you end up rising higher yourself. Not because you were chasing elevation, but because you built it into the lives around you. You don't shine by pushing others down. You shine by creating more light for everyone. Think about it. The people we remember, the ones who left a mark, they weren't the ones who kept everything for themselves. They weren't the ones who clung to power or fame. They were the ones who gave time, wisdom, resources, encouragement, energy. They invested in others. They made sacrifices that nobody else saw, and that's why their influence still lives on long after the applause has faded. But the problem is, we live in a world where everybody's asking, "What's in it for me?" That's the wrong question. The right question is, what do I have to give? Because when you give without keeping score, you create impact that money can't buy and recognition can't measure. You build something that outlasts you. You become part of a story bigger than your own. Serving isn't about being weak. Serving is strength. Serving is choosing to use your gifts, your talents, your resources to lift someone else instead of only yourself. And make no mistake, it takes more courage to serve than it does to shine, because serving means humility. It means sometimes putting others before yourself. It means doing the work even when nobody says thank you. But that's the soil where real greatness grows, and don't confuse service with settling. This is not about being small. This is about being intentional. This is about knowing that your true value doesn't come from how much you accumulate, but from how much you contribute. A selfish life may win trophies, but a serving life changes generations. I'll tell you something else. When you serve, when you pour into others, you're also feeding yourself. Every life you touch becomes part of your legacy. Every person you help becomes a reflection of your purpose. And when you look back, it won't be the cars, the titles, or the applause that matter. It will be the faces you lifted, the hearts you encouraged, the lives you changed. And here's the beautiful thing. When you serve first, the shine will come. It always does. But the shine won't be hollow, it won't be temporary. It won't be something you have to cling to desperately. It will be authentic. It will be rooted in the fact that you didn't rise alone. You rose while helping others rise with you, and that kind of light can't be dimmed. So don't chase success by itself. Chase significance. Don't run after the stage, run after service, because the stage is temporary, but service is eternal. When you serve, when you give, when you elevate others, you set in motion something far greater than yourself. And when the time comes, when the light finally hits you, it won't just be your shine people see. It will be the reflection of every life you lifted along the way. Serve before you shine, always, faith and focus. Those two things will take you further than talent ever will. Talent is good, talent is useful, but talent without faith is fragile, and talent without focus is wasted. There are a lot of talented people in this world, people who could sing, who could lead, who could create, who could build. But they never believed in themselves enough to step forward, or they never stayed focused long enough to finish what they started. And that's why talent alone isn't enough. Faith is what makes you move when logic tells you to stay still. Faith is what whispers, "Go anyway," when fear is screaming in your ear. Faith is not just hoping something might happen, it's believing it will happen even when you can't see it. Faith doesn't need evidence, it becomes the evidence. It's the substance of what you hope for and the proof of what you don't yet see. Without it, you'll quit the moment life gets hard. Without it, every setback feels permanent. But with it, every mountain starts to look like a step. Every setback starts to look like setup, and then comes focus. Because faith will open the door, but focus is what keeps you walking through it. Focus is the discipline to cut out distractions, to stop chasing everything and commit to something. It's the ability to keep your eyes on the destination even when the path is rough, even when people around you are giving up, even when the noise of life is pulling at you from every direction. Without focus, your faith has nowhere to aim. Without focus, your energy is scattered and your vision is blurry. That's why faith and focus together are unstoppable. Faith fuels your spirit, focus directs your steps. Faith gives you the courage to start, focus gives you the discipline to finish. And when you combine them, you create momentum no obstacle can stop. That's why some people with less talent still win. They didn't need to be the most gifted. They just needed enough faith to believe and enough focus to keep going. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone who wasn't the smartest, wasn't the most skilled, but they just refused to quit? They kept showing up, kept believing, kept putting one foot in front of the other. And while the talented ones got distracted, while the gifted ones got lazy, the faithful and the focused crossed the finish line. That's the difference. It's not who starts with the most, it's who finishes with the most heart. And don't mistake faith for passivity. Faith doesn't sit around waiting. Faith moves. Faith works. Faith is active. It's not just wishing. It's believing so deeply that you act like it's already done. And don't mistake focus for tunnel vision. Focus isn't about ignoring the world. It's about knowing what matters and giving it your best. It's about saying no to the lesser so you can say yes to the greater. The truth is, life will test both your faith and your focus. There will be times when your dream feels out of reach, when everything in you wants to quit. That's when faith says, "Hold on, it's coming." There will be times when distractions seem endless, when opportunities pull you in 100 directions. That's when focus says, "Stay on the path. Finish what you started." If you can hold on to both, you'll outlast the competition, outlast the noise, outlast the doubt. People think talent guarantees success. It doesn't. Faith and focus do. Talent is a head start, but faith is the fuel and focus is the steering wheel. Without them, talent crashes. With them, even the least likely can rise higher than anyone imagined. So don't just wish, believe, don't just plan, act. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, stop doubting yourself, stop scattering your energy across a dozen directions. Have the faith to start and the focus to finish. Faith and focus will take you further than talent ever will. Before you leave, let me remind you, this journey is not about wishing, it's about believing. It's not about planning, it's about acting. Every video here is a step toward discipline, resilience, vision, service, and unshakable focus. If something you heard today lit a fire in you, don't let it burn out. Take action. And one simple step you can take right now is to join this community by hitting that like button, subscribing, and turning on notifications. Not for me, for you. Because when you surround yourself with consistent inspiration, you stay sharp, you stay accountable, and you keep moving forward. Remember, every setback is preparing you for a comeback. Every private grind is shaping your public shine, and every act of service lifts you higher. Together, we're not just chasing success, we are building significance. So subscribe, stay connected, and let's rise.